Yo, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? As you guys know, it's Miami Monday. Today we focused on the Miami Hurricanes. Yes, the Miami Hurricanes. After a great win against Clemson, Miami looks this week to take on Virginia. So obviously, today it's Monday. The coaches have spoken, and we kind of want to hear what they got to say about, the Clemson game. And on top of that, what to look forward to in this Virginia game. Now, we're not going to sleep on Virginia, but coming off of this Clemson win, I must say we're feeling high and mighty. That's tough. Let's get into this.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. Um, all right, so we've already gotten started on our opponent this week. Reviewing the film, kind of like we talked about after the game the other night. Just thought a lot of culture and execution is what showed up on tape. Really proud of the progress of our team. The fact that there's been such a change in our physicality up front on both sides of the ball, and that everybody really focused on doing their job and not pressing just to go out there and make a play. Sometimes when you do that, you get out of sorts a little bit. And for the most part, guys were doing their job and on point with it, and led to guys making a lot of plays. So, but that being said, I'll focus on Virginia, coming off a big win this past weekend. They got a lot of good players, a lot of speed on the field, and very disruptive on defense. They do a bunch up front. They present some challenges. Good practice this morning, and questions, please.
Was that game the best showing of physicality you've seen since you've been back here, considering level of opponent and the performance? Is that what you want it to look like?
I think that's something maybe at the end of the year you really look at and draw comparisons, but it's a major step when you look at rushing totals. When it's that lopsided, 211, 30. When you look at pressures on the quarterback, I believe we pressured him 18 out of 34 with 5 sacks, and I think we had 2 or 3 pressures, maybe more, maybe a fourth one, but no sacks. You feel really good about that progress, and we matched up against some really good players. So just a lot of hard work and development. I think style of play came into play also. I think our Tuesday, Wednesday practice sessions also showed up as well. Things that we work on a lot showed up as well. So certainly excited about the progress, and truth of the matter is there's a lot of improvement to be made, and we attacked those things right away on film, without any, no sensitivity, nothing but betterment in mind.
It's not an easy situation for a true freshman quarterback to make his first career start against that defense. Your take on how Emory Williams played and how a performance like that can help his development?
Oh, I thought he was excellent. I do, and I think we all know, I know it sounds like a broken record. If that's your first start, there's going to be a speed adjustment. It's just going to happen a little bit faster. Things are going to move just a little bit crazier than what you can provide. But we do practice a lot of good on good during the season, so he does get a lot of speed on speed. But he went through his progressions extremely well. He articulated the play calls, because we were a huddle operation for the most part. When we didn't huddle, he was able to communicate very well as well. There was no communication issue. He was very decisive. He got some balls batted earlier. I think as a freshman quarterback, sometimes you don't find that throwing lane. And I thought as the game went on, he got really comfortable. I thought he started really settling in and made some big throws. Certainly that third down shot to Kobe. That's a big time throw and a big time route, big time catch on a third down and must have it situation. So very pleased with his performance, and I know all his teammates were really excited for him. You saw Tyler's emotion on the sideline, towards him and congratulating him. So really good job by him.
And on that note with Tyler, how instrumental was he in a short period of
FSU fans, pipe down. We're going to talk about Lil Blunt, Lil Armando. Don't worry, we're going to talk about him. Don't get your panties in a bunch. We're going to talk about him.
time just kind of helping Emory be ready for that moment?
He was excellent. He's a great mentor. I know Emory really looks up to him. Just helping him learn. Again, it was a new offense for everybody, but just Tyler's experience and football at the college level requires a certain level of understanding, and Tyler has been instrumental in helping Emory along with that.
All right, you said I think at the end of the post-game press conference the other night, Tyler would continue to get evaluated, you'd have more data in the next couple of days. What more have you learned about his injury status for this coming week?
Yeah, he's good to go. That's what I can tell you. I think last week was, again, caught us off guard. I know on game day, people look out there and say, whoa, wait a second. But it caught us off guard during the week, and sometimes, he doesn't have anything that's serious, but if it takes a certain turn, it could delay you, and that's really what ended up happening. And we're in a good place right now, and everything was back to normal today's practice.
And then is there any kind of updated timeline or status update on the key member? We've obviously been out for a little while now.
He's been out for a little while. I can tell you, Nigelique will be out probably the rest of the season. Okay, is a little bit more significant. Akeem is. I feel like he's close. I feel like maybe not ready to comment completely on him right now. We do have some evaluations later today, and then another one later this week. I mean, we're doing a lot of stuff with him, so I think we're close, but we also want to just keep the confidentiality of his situation, and also just not fully having a complete just knowledge of where it's at to make a comment.
So y'all heard the man. Najee Kelly is out for the season. Najee Kelly is out for the season. Normally Mario don't give these kind of updates, but just did. Najee is out. Akeem Mesidor is still being evaluated, so it is what it is. Tyler Van Dyke will be ready for next game. For anybody that just joined the chat, just joined on the stream and didn't, get all that. So TVD will be ready for next game, guys. Great game by Emory. All right, let's get back to Mario.
How about Trevante Citizen and his road back?
Yeah, he's close. He is, and he's repping Indy. He is due for some work, some teamwork this week. He's doing all the running, all the cuts, all the drills. Is due for some contact this week as well. And we're very careful about that stuff. I mean, his was a very significant injury. There was a lot that went on there, and then he had a setback, during his recovery process. He looks great. I mean, he's at that point where you can't tell he had an injury, So now it's a matter of confidence. Now it's a matter of not so much physical. I would say rehabilitation as it is mental, making sure that he feels confident enough and that he can play fast enough to really not subject himself to any type of injury situation.
What can he add skill set wise?
Big, powerful guy, and he's a put a foot in the ground and go guy as well. I mean, he's got legitimate speed for a guy his size. He can make you miss. He's got great hands, excellent in protection. He's an every down back.
When you watch the tape, how impressed were you by the performance of Shannon Dawson, considering the circumstances he was under with managing on Saturday?
No, I think we mentioned it before, Shannon, he did a great job. That's hard. I mean, that's a top 10 defense, right? We've had, I think we faced 2 top 10 defenses this year, and both with a veteran quarterback and another one with a brand new quarterback in his first start. And, to be able to call it and still put yourself in a situation to win in 2 very different games, very, very different games, and knowing what we had to do to play complementary football against Clemson's offense and whatnot, that's an art, He really did a masterful job of it. I think we doubled up over 13 minutes in the fourth quarter, 9+ in the third, and the play count at the end ended up just about even, right? 70 and 70. Just goes to show you how important it was to have that type of time of possession and still keep the sticks moving at that point in the game.
Do you feel like that possession showed up in overtime?
Well, without a doubt, it was a factor in us getting there, so.
I guess that was the first game he missed. What's the situation?
He did good to go. We thought he was ready to play. Tyler was almost ready to play. but it was okay. He hasn't really gotten, enough reps to be there. Henry was starting to get some reps and he was about there, but not enough reps to think that he was going to be in better position to help us win than the other guys that got all the reps. So he's back full go.
Mario, now Nigel got the rest of the year, and Akeem having been out, how crucial, how clutch has it been to have Ruben Bain step up and play the way he's playing? How many freshmen have you seen over years of coaching who been able to come in and play at this level so quickly?
Yeah, it's he's unique. He's done, and the thing is, he's doing it with power also. It's not like it's just a speed guy or a guy that comes in situationally. He's doing it on an every down basis, and his play count is probably the highest on the defensive line. So conditioning is in there as well. So he's been able to put veteran-like numbers and high-end veteran-like numbers as a true freshman, and doing the dirty work too now. Jumping in there and getting in the A gap sometimes when he's called to do so, and rushing the edge and taking on tight ends and tackles and chip blocks as well. So no, he's been incredible, and he just goes. Doesn't say much, just focus on playing great football, and he's impacted the team not only as a player but also as a leader and as a person.
Mario, the overtime situation, I know you had against Virginia the 4 overtimes last year. Does it help at all, to have already gone through that, or how does it help? And what was the process like for you guys? It's game experience is always most important.
Yeah, I mean, you work all those scenarios, 4-minute, 2-minute overtime. I think what comes into play there is, your red zone planning. Obviously, you're playing red zone football, right? And then also your conditioning, what you've done since January all the way up until there. And then again, what are you doing in practice? It's now week 6, 7, 8 for a lot of people. Some 9 that played week 0, I believe. And so what's going to show up during that time, right? Because it's hard to run the ball in the red zone. It's hard to throw the ball, right? Because of the width and space to defend. So do I feel like we have an advantage? I feel like psychologically we're very confident, but credit to them. That's an excellent football team we played. I mean, that is as talented as a team as you'll see. So all in all, just really proud of our guys because whatever we talked about and everything we worked on, it actually showed up, right? We protected the football and we took away the football. And that has been, it's always been as big of a stat line as you can imagine as it relates to winning and losing.
Also, as a follow, Rashard Smith is having a good season. In what ways does he make it difficult for opponents to game plan, and what challenges does he present, and what does he add to your offense and special teams?
Well, he does it all. You saw him play some running back. You saw him play slot. He plays outside. He's on every special teams. He's a returner. He's broken some monster kickoff returns as well. He's a punt returner as well. We'll probably use him back there a little bit also. So he could handle a lot. He's like a piece of iron. He just doesn't break. He can just go forever. He's built that way. He's over 200 pounds. Just so natural as a football player. An awesome human being. I'm all over him. I'm a pain in his neck because I just feel that sky's the limit for him, and it's my obligation to make sure he leaves here absolutely elite. So I'm always on him. I think he appreciates it. I'm sure it makes him mad all the time, but he really is an explosive football player. And so he's worked himself in a position where we've created stuff for him, as well as he's part of the natural game plan.
After watching the tape, what were some of the biggest differences week over week in the run defense improving?
Well, we tried a couple different things structurally, and I think that showed. I think we did our job. That was a theme, and the guys will tell you, and everyone did their job, and they did it well. They did it fast. They did it with power. They did it with physicality, and played with a lot of effort. Really took on the attitude of, it's got to be this way. It's got to be a will not be denied attitude on every single play, whether it works out your way or not. So structurally, we threw in some things. Aside from that, we elevated our level of play. We played to a standard that, we need to keep improving upon. And certainly, we need to build upon that.
Mario, the would-be, I thought it looked like a safety, but that officials reviewed and confirmed their original decision. have you asked the ACC for any clarification on that, and any thoughts on that? Or why did they tell you that they didn't call it safe?
If I could break this, I would. Next question.
Do they explain to you, let's say, when the situation, can you ask them why did you confirm it? Can they tell
We're
you?
awaiting a response.
Emory's now sitting at 4 games. Does that change anything with?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, man. That was a good question by Susan. That was a great question. The NCAA, the ACC, all these referees, these zebra shirt wearing mother, they owe us some explanations. They owe us some explanations. They just been robbing us all season with all these calls and all these missed calls. I'm seeing a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct on other teams right in front of referees, and they ain't calling jack squad. But let it would have been Miami though. But let's finish these presses, and we're gonna get into it tonight.
Approaching red shirts or
Well, I don't think so. I think the day and age of redshirting is, there's a transfer portal, there's injuries, there's 3-and-dones, If you can help a team and play, you play. If you bring value to a team, to waste someone on meaningless downs, no. If you're playing special teams, that's ultra valuable because you're one step closer to being a full-time player on offense and defense. The training of the speed of the game, angles, leverage, understanding concepts, special teams is far and away the best way to acclimate players. I know Emory's a different situation, but he just started a game. That's obviously the most value, right? You get out of that, but he's ready to go, and all systems go.
what's your thought about Virginia? Just looking at them.
Well, watching them up front, number one, they bring a lot of pressure. They're anywhere 36, 40% pressure. They're disruptive up front because they'll run a lot of stunts, but not only on third down, and on first and second down to try to disrupt your run game. A lot of TEs, ETs, double TEs, which is something we haven't seen yet. The America's Blitz, field missile, bring the Sam and the Mike and the Will respectively, depending what part of the field you're on. They involve their secondary and pressures as well. They've got a really nice menu of pressures on third down. They're exotic, and you had to. We put in already extra time into all that stuff, knowing that third down they really made it difficult for North Carolina last week. Forced some high balls, forced an interception at the end. It actually was a quarterback hit to seal the game with an interception, and. But they're really stout up front. Their linebackers can absolutely roll. They're great tacklers on the back end with a lot of speed. I think their offense, they're just gelling. They're making explosive plays all over the place. They're hard to cover. They run really hard. They've done a lot of work on their offensive line, you could tell, because just the way they fit their combination blocks, the way they communicate, they're just in sync. And they operate at a very high level this past week.
Mario, is there anything to playing a team? It's coming off of a big win. I'm sure they were not feeling great about themselves entering that game, having only one game before that. Is there anything to playing a team coming off a big win, either in a positive way for them, where they have more confidence, or in a negative potential way, in that they're probably not feeling full of themselves, but a letdown kind of thing? Is there anything to that?
I think for 150 years, everybody's been trying to figure that out. And I feel like if you watch college football, you get a different result and a different dynamic, right, depending on what you watch. And it keeps coming down to what's going on between the ears, what's going on upstairs. Where is that mind? What is the mindset of the football team? Are you unified? Are you willing to fight through the tough times? Are you willing to take a shot right in the nose and be able to just keep getting up and up until it turns your way? Because we just had to do that, right? We got faced with that, and they were facing that, and they did it. So there's tangible evidence, right? There's film and proof that they are a team that is very capable of playing at a high level, and they did that. So, which is great for our guys to realize that, because probably one of the hardest things to convince players in coaching college football for whatever years is that everybody has good players. everybody has really good players, in some way, shape, or form. Some have a ton of good players. But if you walk into a game thinking that you're going to do well because you're better or they don't have good players, you're out of your mind. And this doesn't relate to who we're playing. This relates to just college football in general. And that's why I think you see, some of the, it's not, they're called upsets, but it's really who played better that day. It's not the best team, right? It's who plays best. And so whatever goes on between the ears has got to be the priority. It is for us on a week-by-week basis.
And then, obviously they're the opponent this week. You're focused on beating them, but after everything they went through last year, are you happy for them that they were able to have this kind of nice moment, joyous event for themselves?
We are, and we're setting up, some stuff that's, it's really important to us. Gulliver's right down the road, and, can you imagine as a parent, man, that's tough stuff. So we're certainly going to do everything we can to honor them.
Don Cheney, I know when you mentioned something this morning, you got nicked up towards the end of the game. How is he doing? I have a follow-up on another player.
He's doing well. He's doing well. He, he got up. He ended up getting back in the game, but he got up really slowly. So it was concerning at the time. But we feel like he's in a good place right now.
And then the other thing is just Kobe Young has had some nice contested catches recently. And any comments on him and his progression?
The best thing he did was after that ball was knocked out of his hands, get right back up, the dig route, the jump ball, the underthrown fade. That guy's, he's a machine. That guy just works. He is unbreakable, He fights through injury. He fights through nagging stuff, always a positive attitude. We got to slow him down during the week because his GPS numbers are so high. We don't want him to just use up all the gas in the tank before the game comes around. He's that kind of guy. We are super fortunate to have Kobe Young in this program.
I think last week the O-line was nominated for the Joe Moore Award. I would assume every O-line group's different, and it's only been 7 games this year, but what do you like about this group, this O-line group that you guys have this year?
They're legitimate, hardworking, tough, resilient, accountable, physical, smart, cohesive human beings that are team first guys. They want to see the team win. They're willing to do it. They all think they're super athletes. That's the only thing that's, they all think they should have the ball or play where they get the ball, which, we're not doing that. But they've got great personality. They're natural leaders by what they do and whatever comes out of their mouth by example. Those guys are a lot of fun to be around, and the culture of that room just gets better and better and better. Coach Mirabal, just done an awesome job. Coach Pato was with him earlier. He's now working more with the defense, but Coach Reggie Bain and Ryan Walk, who we had brought also from Oregon, those guys just do an unbelievable job with that group, and they make it fun, man. They make it fun because they go. Okay.
Okay, guys, so there you have it. Mario Cristobal has spoken, man. Pretty much, breaking down what happened against Clemson. We're all gathered here today to lay Clemson to rest. Yes, lay them to rest. I think we'll probably play them in about 2 years from now, maybe, I think. So, funeral services on Saturday night for Clemson. Dabo made a clown of himself, of course. Club Nick promised to win, couldn't deliver. Club Nick came down to Miami and got his head bowed. Bow your head, Club Nick. Yes, great win for Miami, great win for Miami. Now, I do want to hear some of you guys' thoughts and opinions on the game. Obviously, if you didn't catch the Sunday show, then, you're more than welcome to come in here tonight, air your opinions out. The subject is Miami. 100% Miami. We could sprinkle some jabs at them other teams, but it's Miami Monday. We're going to talk about Miami. Obviously, all the Florida State fans are gathered in the chat. They want to talk about the flip of 5-star defensive lineman Armando Blunt. So we're going to talk about that little blunt, that little joint, whatever. And then anyways, the link is in the chat. That's what we about to do. Also, Shannon Dawson and Lance Guidry, they also spoke today. So we're going to listen to their press conference also. We're going to also get prepared for Virginia because, that's our next opponent. Florida State, wait your turn. Count your days. Wait your turn. Miami will be mud stomping y'all up there in Dope Cam Stable. Yes, we will be taking y'all to the barn. Yes, we will be coming up there and putting our shoe as far as it could go. That's tough. That's tough. Okay, so let's get into it. Let me go ahead and share this with you guys. Obviously, the flip. Less than a month ago, well, actually a little bit over a month ago, Armando Blunt committed to the Miami Hurricanes. Committed. I think it was September 14th, somewhere around there. He committed to the University of Miami. So obviously, flips to Florida State. Their fans are going wild. When he was committed to Miami, he was a nobody, overrated, not that good. Just another kid that got a 5-star rating for no reason. That's what Florida State fans were telling us. He's in the 2025 class. Nobody cares about him. He'll lose his star. He ain't going to perform, blah, blah, blah. And then he flipped, and all of a sudden, all the narrative changed. He's the best guy in the world right now. He is the best guy in the world. He can't do no wrong. Armando flipped. So we going to talk about it. Now, let me go ahead and get this off the screen real quick. Pop this up for you guys. Obviously, flipped. A loss for Miami, but this is a marathon, guys. If I know Mario and the crew like I know Mario and the crew, they're not going to stop recruiting this guy. So one of his main recruiter, by the way, former Miami Hurricane head coach, Randy Shannon. As you guys know, Florida State gave Randy Shannon the task of basically, coming down to South Florida and doing some recruiting. Obviously, he got some ties at the high schools down here. He's a well-known guy down here, well-respected. Kudos out to Randy Shannon. Got nothing bad to say about that guy. Wasn't the greatest Miami coach of all at any point necessary, but nonetheless, he was a Miami guy. Probably somewhere in his heart, he's still a Miami guy, but obviously he's being, deprived up there in Tallahassee. So, you got to do what you got to do. At the end of the day, it's a job. So, Mr. Blunt here, let's go down some events. So, like I said, September 14th, as you guys can see on the screen, if you're listening, pick your phone up or whatever. September 14th, commits to the University of Miami. 1,000% committed. 1,000%. That 1,000% don't strike again. Oh, you already know what it is. Oh, I'm 100% committed. I'm 1,000% committed. My recruitment is shut down. We all know how that works. Recruiting goes all the way to National Signing Day, and when they sign on the dotted line, boom. Now, if you've been around this channel for a while, when kids commit to Miami, I drop a video. I let you guys know their measurables. I let you guys know where they're from. I let you guys know a little bit about them. And then if you want to take it upon yourself, you can watch their huddle and all that good stuff and make your own evaluation. I just basically congratulate them and welcome them to the Miami Hurricanes. Now, when they sign on the dotted line and they're doing good and all that, I give them the praise. When they're doing terrible, I try not to criticize. I try to keep my judgment, but sometimes we got to do it. So my guy say he's 100% committed at everybody, at Cristobal, at Pata, D-Train, Jason Taylor, Salavea, and everybody else on the coaching staff. Boom. A lot of edits went out, videos went out, everybody was talking about them. And then, the 1,000% committed. And then from what we was hearing, moms love Florida State. She loved Florida State. But at the end of the day, yesterday, we see the flip. Now, this is a Miami guy, Miami Central, the Rockets. He wrote when he flipped, because he was, instead of being at the Miami versus Clemson game, he was at the Florida State versus Duke game where he initially flipped. So this is home. Speaking about Tallahassee, when he was committed to Miami, as you guys can see, 100% committed. I'm staying home. That's what he said. I'm staying home. 1 month later, month and a half later, whatever you want to say, this is home. I have been discussing with family, and I've decided that Florida State is where I am meant to be. I want to thank everyone who has been a part of my recruitment process. I am locked in with my decision. God bless, and he throws up the 2 shish kebabs. So there you have it, guys. The only person he tagged in this was his mom. So obviously everybody been saying mom's a Florida State girl. She liked Florida State. She loved Florida State, and this is where this decision is based. And that's cool. That's cool. At the end of the day, that's his decision. If he want to play for Florida State, that's him. Let him play for Florida State. We'll just beat him on the field every year and make him regret that decision if he decides to sign with Florida State. Obviously, this is a low blow. That's tough. Shout out to BB in the chat. That's tough. This is tough right here. Not only did he flip from Miami, he flipped to our biggest and worst enemy, our biggest rival, Florida State. Man, the loyalty in that. But that's tough. But like I said, guys, never demand loyalty from kids that has not, made a decision on pen and paper. This happens all the time. This don't just happen to Miami. It happens to every school. So don't let none of this bother you. Miami is doing great in recruiting. We'll be just fine. Now, my guy here did reclassify. He reclassified to the 2024 class. So instead of being in the 25, he'll be in the 24. Now, I'm not quite sure if they're gonna keep his 5-star status, because he was evaluated as a 5-star for the 25 class. So maybe when they do their evaluations, maybe he'll still keep the 5-star. Maybe they'll collaborate all the other 5-stars and 4-stars and see where he fits in and everything like that. But nonetheless, he flipped from Miami to Florida State. So good luck to the kid. Good luck to the kid. Good luck to the kid. That's tough. Now, enough about that. Let's get back to some of these press conferences. Of course, other coaches spoke today, not just Mario Cristobal, Lance Guidry. So we're going to talk about Lance.
I manhandled him, to be that young.
We have defensive coordinator Lance Guidry. We'll go straight into questions for Coach.
What stood out most to you about Ruben Bain's performance?
Just how he manhandled him, to be that young in a P5 game like that.
Hold on. Before he get into the Lance Guidry, before Lance Guidry get into the Ruben Bain talk, I'm pretty sure Blunt saw what we saw. Ruben Bain out there dominating. Ruben Bain probably going to be dominating at Miami for the next 2 to 3 years. The guy's going to play on Sunday. He is that talented. He's a natural talent. He's out there doing big things as a true freshman. I give him another 2 years and he's in the league. My guy here, Blunt, I'm pretty sure he don't want to come and play behind Ruben. He probably won't get no snaps. He probably want to go somewhere where all the transfer portal guys that Florida State has accumulated will be gone next year. Obviously, Deloach going to be gone. Verse going to be gone. Verse probably a 3rd rounder now. His numbers are so terrible. He should have went last year. That's tough. So, obviously, my guys see what's going on out there. He probably say, you know what? I probably got to go somewhere where I could actually get some play time, and that's Florida State. We got a Ruben Bain out here just terrorizing the offensive line of every team he plays. So It is what it is. Let me go to Florida State where they ain't got nobody. They ain't got nobody. They ain't got no Reuben Bain at Florida State. You ain't got to sit behind no Reuben Bain at Florida State. That's tough.
And him being able to throw people around, great power, strength, twitch. Going to be a really great player before he's finished.
Leonard Taylor also popped on Saturday, and I guess you can talk about the entire defensive line because that was a heck of a performance, especially against the run.
Yeah, Leonard was in his wheelhouse. We played him a lot at the nose, and we played him over the center and made him knock him back and then moved him from that spot, either right or left, and it was a good game plan for him. So it kind of played to his strengths, which was really good, and he showed up a lot. But the whole front, he really played well, backers and everybody is included.
It seems like you had a wrinkle with the front. Can you just take us through that and the impact that made?
Yeah, we went 3-3 stack. We've been short on some defensive linemen. We've been beat up a little bit, and I felt in this game, probably Sunday night after watching them on film, in my head, I'm like, okay, we got to get as much speed on the field as we can. So I started thinking, if we put 3 linebackers on the field with 3 down linemen, we can do more. We can drop in coverage differently. We can match up on tight ends. We can bring different pressures. And I've done it before, but it's been a while back that I did it. But it was kind of the same situation. People gave me a lot of motions, a lot of empty sets. And when you get in empty sets, a defensive end can't go out there and play a guy, but a linebacker can. So just watching the film and breaking them down, I'm like, this is the week. They've been working on us for 2 weeks for what they've seen because they had an open week. I said it's a perfect time to jump into it because when it gets to Saturday night, they haven't seen anything that we're going to do. And the kids picked up on it, and a lot of it was similar, but some of it was different. I played a lot more bear with it. So they carried out the game plan well, and they did a great job executing. Coaches did an unbelievable job of getting them to buy into it, and they had some people who had to be unselfish that didn't play as many snaps as they would have with a regular front. But I thought it was best for us to have a chance to win, and we executed it really well.
Shout out to Leonard Taylor, man. Shout out to Leonard Taylor. Leonard Taylor put on a great performance that night. The things that we've been expecting from Leonard Taylor, he flashed in this game. Shout out to Leonard Taylor. Shout out to the whole defensive group. They all did their thing. Corey Flagg. My guy with the winning, with the touchdown saving win. Shout out to Corey Flagg. Put some respect on Corey Flagg. As a matter of fact, man, show Corey some respect, man. Put some flags in the chat. I'm sure y'all got some flag emojis. Put them flags in the chat. Let's get back to it.
What have you seen on film from Virginia's offense?
Well, the last game really sticks out. Quarterback played really good. Transfer kid from Monmouth, of course, and a lot of one-hand catches. They played up to the challenge, and they were good at what they do. They get a lot of empty sets. They get in some open sets, and the quarterback runs draw, and he's good at running the draw. He's a little jitterbug up in there, so we're going to have our hands full for sure. So just well executed last week. Early in the year, not as much, so we know we're going to get their best game, though.
I know, obviously, you guys are treating every opponent the same, every opponent with respect, but, it's things that it might sneak in that this team, a week ago had one win, but now that they've beaten the team that you guys know is a handful, does that kind of bring it to this level, like, yeah, these guys can play?
No, Monday's a Monday, Tuesday's a Tuesday, Wednesday's a Wednesday. Our preparation's the same every week. Last week was a good practice, and we played well. The week before, we played a half game as good as you probably could against that quarterback that was playing against North Carolina. And then we got on our heels a little bit, and the game changed. But each week we prepare the same well, and we play with great energy. So it really doesn't matter about the opponent. We just try to focus in on what we do well and practice the way we need to practice. And I like where we're at, and I'm glad they beat North Carolina, you know, because it's not a team that they're going to look over, but we didn't look over Bethune. We didn't look over any team we've played this year, so I think we've been very businesslike.
Obviously, Ruben's having a lot of success as a true freshman. Most of it's been on the outside. What does the future hold for him? Do you see him as a defensive end in the big picture? Does he eventually go inside? Maybe as you get pieces back and maybe advance.
I don't know. I'm not putting any limitations on Ruben. I do think probably if he has a future past college, he may trend toward the inside, you know. But right now, I like him where he's at. And he's big and powerful, and the offensive tackles aren't used to seeing that. They're used to seeing guys try and run around them and do counter moves, and now they've got a big guy on the edge, you know. In the NFL, there was guys like Bruce Smith, and there was Reggie White, who gave people problems on the edge because they were so big. Ruben's not that big, but, I mean, he brings the same type of skill sets, strength, power, and twitch. So, I don't know. We're just going to let it play the way it's playing.
You guys had some key stops when they got inside the 5 in the Clemson game. What did you like about the way the defense kind of bowed up?
They just showed grit, you know. The last drive, I really wasn't worried too much. After we scored, I was more worried about the other one. I was worried about when the first overtime, I was a little bit worried about that one because I didn't want to put our offense in a situation where they had to make a touchdown. I wanted to hold them to a field goal, so I was a little bit more nervous with that one. But the second overtime, when we scored and made the 2-point conversion, I really didn't think they could score on us twice. And when it got to the 4th down, I even felt like, okay, if they score, they got to come back and score twice in a row on the 4th play and the overtime and the 2-point play. And I just didn't think that they could do it the way we were playing. And it worked out that way. But we definitely had a lot of attitude down there, and that's what it takes. You got to have some grit. And we haven't been great in those situations, this year. We've kind of, when people got down there, they punched it in, but we were locked in, and they played well. I was so proud of them.
Can you talk about the play that...
Man, shout out to Club Nick. Shout out to Club Nick from Clemson for openly disobeying Dabo's call. Dabo told him to hand the ball off to Shipley. Dabo threw him under the bus. That boy saw that defense and said, I'm going to have to improvise. They finna eat me alive. Hey, I don't think they score. And if they do score, they weren't getting that 2-point. They weren't getting that 2-point. This defense was knocking Clemson on their butt all game. Clemson ain't never had a defense like this. They ain't seen a defense like this all year. They ain't played not one opponent all year like this. They ain't met a defense like this. They met a fraud defense. I think that was like the 4th game of the season, but they ain't met no defense like this. Like this?
Flag made to seal the game.
Yeah, we work on it like different backfield sets. Whichever way the running back set, we'll scream a guy off the edge to chase him, and we'll gap exchange with that linebacker. They happen to go to the big field with it. They actually had a guy that was ineligible into the boundary, and we really needed to take the safety and blitz him off the edge on that side because we didn't need to cover him because he wasn't eligible. And we didn't get that accomplished. So if they would have given the ball, we were soft into the boundary because we didn't set the edge with a blitz, but he pulled it. Thank God he pulled it. And the best thing Flag did was when Wesley was trying to chase, he went forward. He took the air away. He didn't work sideways, and he made the quarterback have to belly back. And when he bellied back, it gave us enough room. Even you could see Wesley running, and James came all the way from the other side and was tracking. I feel if Flag would have missed him, James would have still got him at the goal line. So we had 3 guys really running to the ball. We all were. We was all really worried about a horse collar because you could see him tug on his shoulder, and then he was smart where he didn't, pull him down like that. But very instinctive play by Flag, older guy that's played a lot of football. And for a guy to make a play like that, that's really who you want to make the play. There's a guy that's, kind of been here a while, and he's had his ups and downs, and that was one of the biggest ups you can have right there, beating Clemson at home in double overtime.
Mike, you said Corey's kind of had some ups and downs. How have you seen him develop? He since the beginning of fall camp, since the season got
He's
started?
working, man. He works. He don't complain. He takes coaching from Coach Nicholson, and all those guys have gotten better. Wesley's gotten better. KJ's gotten better.
Man, special shout out to Derek Nicholson, former Florida State Seminole. Florida State Seminole. Down here doing a great job with our linebackers. Getting these linebackers ready to bust Florida State in their mouth. Shout out to Derek Nicholson, man. A Seminole, but a Miami Hurricane at heart. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. We know Seminoles don't claim Seminoles at the end of the day.
And you're a Knoll, my friend.
No. Actually, do you know where I graduated from?
That's tough.
But Flake's been patient when he's in there. He's played well, so he keeps getting better. Of course, Kiko keeps getting better. And you got to have depth at linebacker, and we needed it because we were playing with 3 starters this week, and we had to have guys in rotation. So Flag was one of the guys that had to play the mic and the wheel. And so you got to do a lot of different things when you're playing 2 positions, especially in that 3-3 stack stuff we were doing.
And Mario mentioned that naturally Kelly's likely out for the remainder of the year. Who do you see stepping up in his place, and obviously departing for the lot? Who else do you want to see step up filling that spot?
I don't know. I don't know who's going to step up. We'll figure it out, and if we got to move some guys outside, we'll do it. If we got to generate some more fronts with different things, we'll do that. So we want to play the best 11. You know, that's the most important thing. I think when you're a coach is you want to have the best players on the field that you can, and sometimes it's the most healthiest players. So we'll go through this week, and then we'll decide on what we'll do at that position. But you know, we had different choices, and that's a good thing.
Vince, they were targeting you, not you, but they were targeting you guys on the outside, on the perimeter, with the deep ball more than we've seen anybody do this season. Your thoughts on that? I mean, you've got some games coming up. I know you're looking 1 week at a time, and I don't really know who Virginia's receivers are, but you've got some games coming up, I know, with some big receivers and things like that. Did that have a resonating?
Well, first of all, shout out to my cornerbacks, man. Shout out to my quarterback. Listen, Porter, great job. Couch, great job. All of our corners Clemson tried to go deep. They tried to take advantage of the receivers on the outside. It weren't happening. I'm telling y'all, man, it's going to be on and popping this year. It's going to be on and popping. Ooh, coming back from Tallahassee is going to be great.
We're going to keep doing what we're doing. You can't double cover people and not have a guy playing the run. So there's some different different matches we can put in there, but they have to prove they can hit them. And it's a 50-50 ball. They've started hitting them. You got to do different things. You might have to switch guys, but the guys that we love them, and they'll keep competing, and one game at a time. I'm not worried about down the road. I'm worried about practicing on tomorrow and, you know, this weekend playing Virginia. So it is what it is, and when we get to the games where they have big receivers, we'll deal with it then.
With their production they had at tight end, is there things to clean up there, or is that a guy just kind of making a play?
Man, that guy made some great catches and some great throws, and anytime a tight end's going free like that and you're in great coverage and they're making plays, you just got to kind of tip your hat. We put a backer on him, we put a safety on him. At the end, on some third downs, we put another DB on him, a corner on him, but still he had big, you know, he's a big guy. He had length. So we felt like we had to try to make the tight end beat us because we thought they had some good wideouts, and especially with a kid coming back that was healthy. So we felt like if we could make it a tight end game, it was better for us. And, you know, I thought he bobbled it, but it is what it is. I thought we had a safety as well. So, but I'm not.
Imagine in 2023, Miami made Clemson turn into tight end you. That's tough. Clemson thought they were so special, he was going to have the night of his life, and they're going to walk out here with a win. No, sir. No, that was a part of the plan. Y'all heard my guy Lance. Y'all heard him. Y'all receivers shut down. Go to your little tight end. Let him have his little night. That's it. That's it. Other than that tight end, Clemson ain't had nothing. They ain't had nothing. That defense played lights out. We was beating Clemson so bad on that defensive side of the ball. We almost knocked the lights out there in Tallahassee.
Not an official. I know that because of the week before, they threw flags on me, so I stayed off the field and didn't complain this week.
How's Josh Gordon developing? And he's a big guy, true freshman. Can he help you this year?
He's getting better, but when you don't come in the spring of your freshman year, it's hard. There's so much to learn. You go through summer, you go through fall camp, and then you start playing, and your reps start getting cut down. You go in a scout, so it's just hard, whereas the difference between him and Ruben is just from the learning purpose. Ruben was here in the spring, so he went through spring football. Ruben did not look like he does right now this spring, but through going through a spring, then going through summer, then fall camp, he's continued to get better. So Horton's going to develop when he develops. He has gotten better, and he's played a couple snaps, but just not there yet. But we got to keep getting him closer and closer because we might need him down the stretch.
Recruits. You heard that? Ruben Bain didn't look like this when he first came in the spring. He didn't look this terrible monster, this physical beast on the field when he first came in. That's development, baby. Mommy down here developing players, recruits. I know y'all hear me. We down here developing high school kids. We're not going into the portal for 50 people. We can develop down here. You can get developed down here. Come in, get ready, and ball out. True testament. Ruben Bain is going to light it up against Florida State. I'm calling it now. He's going to have at least 2 sacks on Jordan Travis, the running back at quarterback. I guarantee it.
Freshman linebackers,
They played some special teams. Hadn't played a lot, on defense except mop-up duty, but they've gotten better. They've really done a good job on the scout team, the look teams they call them. So they've done a great job, and they're going to be some good football players.
KJ, I think, played his most snaps of the season. Was that a function of the 3-3 look?
Yeah, because we started Wes. Wes is what we called our Hank. He really took over for the Jack into the boundary, and then KJ played the Will, and Kiko played the Mike, and then Flag came in and played both. So they got a bunch of snaps, and we needed them too. And I was kind of a little worried because they play on special teams. So there's a lot of snaps they played the other night, but they held up well. I was proud of them. They did what we needed to do.
Jared playing at end.
Yeah.
How do you do?
He did great. A lot of times he played the 4 because we was in 4s a lot. We'd get in 5s, and they was slanting and angling. So Jared's probably more of a 3 tech or a 4 technique anyway. So he's really a little bit further out in the guard, the better he is. And it fit really well what we did. Him and Ruben are both kind of those guys. They kind of can do a little bit of both. So.
Anything else for Coach Guidry?
How tough is it for your defense to defend and practice for Short Smith?
We don't go against them a lot. Thank God. We'll go against the offense probably about 15 plays a day. At the beginning of practice, we'll go like maybe tempo against them, and then we'll go a team run play action, and then there's always some other type of team that we do. So it's roughly about 4 and 4 with the ones, about 12 to 15, and then with the 2. So he's mostly on the outside. He didn't play in the backfield against us at all, but he's very talented. All the wide receivers are. We have a hard time with our wide receivers. They're very athletic. They can run really, really well. So we get a lot of good practice against our offense.
What do you think of Corey and Daryl and Jaden in coverage on Saturday?
I thought they did well. We gave up a couple balls. Jaden gave up, one of the fade routes, but other than that, he challenged it really well. Corey gave up that last one, which I was kind of disappointed in, but he always made a big hit on the quarterback. And then Porter's been solid the whole time. He hadn't really been challenged as much, but when he is, he always knocks the ball away. So they've been a solid group. They're very smart, all 3 of them. So it really helps them out. They study film really well. And we've been beat up a little bit at the free safety. Cam hadn't been healthy. I mean, he's been having a bad ankle. He comes off of, the concussion deal, and then he's had a bad ankle since. So this morning was the best I've seen him with his ankle. He wasn't taped up. He wasn't hobbling. So I think he'll have a good week this week. He'll be more like the old game this week. It's been a while.
Why do you think Porter isn't getting challenged much? Is it luck of the draw, or is he doing good?
No, I don't know. Maybe because he plays the left side. We played a lot of right-handed quarterbacks, because we don't play a field and a boundary. We play a right and a left. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe quarterbacks and then the boundary throw more fade routes to their right. I don't know. He's gotten a lot of in-breaking routes, and he's broken them up. So knock on wood, hopefully he keeps playing well. But I don't know that.
I'm telling y'all right now, this defense is going to abuse Florida State. They're going to abuse Florida State. At the end of the game, all the Miami Hurricanes defense is going to get arrested for abuse. It's going to be domestic violence. All of our guys are going to get charged on their defense. Domestic violence in Tallahassee. I don't know what the fines is in Tallahassee for domestic violence, but every Miami Hurricane defensive player will be charged. Because we're going to be domestic. We're going to domesticate them boys up there, man. We're going to have a great night. That defense is going to eat. That defense is going to eat, man. Now, I'm gonna share this highway robbery with you guys. Let me share this highway robbery, man. This was highway robbery. This is what they do to us, Miami. This is what they do every time. Every single time. Now, I want y'all to feast your eyes on this. This was not a safety, according to the ACC and all the refs. This was not a safety. This was not a safety. Now, as you can see the ball, when the tackle initiate, it's already over the goal line. It's already over the goal line.
So watch where the knee.
Now, look.
First knee hits.
But we are going to,
what you trying to tell me? What are we blind? Is the world blind? Is the world blind? I want y'all to look at my guy Klubnik. Goes down in the end zone. It should have been a safety. It should have been 9-7. Clemson kicking us back the ball, and we kicking them in their teeth. That's what it should have been.
But progress is going to be part of it. It's that initial contact here, right?
Initial contact. He's already in the end zone. The ball is already behind the end. Come on, man. Come on, man. I ain't Charlemagne or nobody like that. I ain't Charlemagne the God. But all the referees and everybody that made the decision that this was not a safety, they all deserve donkey of the day. They all deserve donkey of the day. Somebody need to call up the ACC and tell everybody that made that decision that this was not a safety.
Dope alone.
You haven't. So
He need to leave that dope alone.
Tell every single one of those guys that made this decision they need to leave that dope alone. You can't be smoking crack while calling these games, because obviously you were smoking something. Man, straight robbery. Straight robbery. Clearly a safety. Straight robbery. I don't even think there's one delusional Florida State fan in here that could say this wasn't a safety. Not one. Well, then again, never mind. There is a lot of delusional Florida State fans out there that don't know nothing about no football. So they might say this is not a safety, Or maybe they just salty, or maybe they just scared because they know Miami defense finna show up and kick them in their teeth this year. That's tough. That's tough. But straight highway robbery. That was robbery. Pure robbery. That's what the refs been doing to us. This ain't the only thing they letting slide. They let everything slide against Miami. But I guarantee you, if it was the other way around, it would have been called in the other team's favor. They hate us. They hate us that bad. It's Miami against the world. Miami against the world out here. Man, it's Miami against the world out here. Shannon, where you at, Shannon? Shannon, come talk to him, Shannon.
So throughout the game, it looked like got more and more comfortable and made some big plays in the fourth quarter. How did you kind of see him progressing throughout, and did the game just slow down for him, or what?
Yeah, I mean, he had to make some plays at the end, which I knew that was going to happen. And when it was his time to make plays, I mean, he made them. I don't know if it was a deal where he couldn't have made them at the beginning. Probably could. You know, I didn't want to go out there and put the whole game on him at the beginning. But I also knew that at some point in the game he was going to have to make a crucial throw or a couple. And when those times came, he came through for sure.
Did he kind of graduate on that throw over the middle to Colby? You know, he's leading him, he's throwing to a spot, had to deliver it with confidence. Was that like the moment?
Very astute observation. Yeah, that was a small window. He don't make that throw, we don't win the game. I mean, that's third down, third and long. They went 3 double cloud. They dropped 8. Windows were small. I mean, he ripped it through there. There's 4 people standing within 4 or 5 yards, and yeah, you know, we had to use our timeout the play before too. There was a little bit of miscommunication based on, you know, signaling to a new quarterback and all the different stuff that goes into that. But that was a crucial play in the game.
As a coach, you know, obviously you've taken him from walking out of high school here, having to play against one of the top defenses in the country against Clemson, I guess, what, 9-10 months later. Is it almost like a proud parent? Is it like what's going through your head?
Well, I mean, I like for other people to see the growth of players. You know, I mean, doing it in practice is one thing, but doing it in front of the fans, in front of everybody is a whole nother deal, especially in that setting against them. And so, yeah, I was very proud of him. And the way he handled himself throughout the course of the game, I thought was really remarkable for a true freshman. You know, he was composed from the beginning to the end. There was very few, you know, communication between me and him that got confused, which is, it's harder than people think. You know, our signaling and the way I signal numbers in, script numbers and stuff is pretty elaborate. And when you're out there and you got a million things running through your head, that's not the easiest thing in the world. I thought he handled it well.
How big was just the O-line in terms of giving him time?
I mean, unbelievable. I mean, you know, we knew we were going to have to run the ball. You know, which, you know, obviously I feel like we have the best O-line in the country, along with the best O-line coach, and they came through. You know, we were physical. Those guys protected. You know, Emory got hit, I think, one time when he flipped it out to Riley, and but other than that, I mean, it was as solid of a performance against a really tough defensive front.
And then Rashard Smith obviously has shown the ability to make plays, whether it's a receiver coming out of the backfield on Saturday. How does that ability to kind of feel like a multi-tool?
Yeah. No, I mean, look, you know, we're starting to scratch the surface with him. You know, his skill set is similar to some guys I've had in the past, as far as he has the ability to do multiple things. You know, he's not just a receiver. You know, he played Wildcat quarterback in high school. And this is really a process of me getting to know him a little bit, you know, and me getting to understand the skill set of our players. And so the more I'm around him and the more consistent he's been over the course of the season, you know, has gained trust, you know, and we've put him in some positions to make plays, and he's came through. You know, he came through huge this week, obviously, and I wouldn't think it would be any different moving forward as far as, like, just finding some ways to move him around and get touches.
That Jacoby play, how much do you highlight that in film too?
I mean, good. I mean, look, if he isn't running as hard as he can run behind him, that's a devastating play. You know, it really is. I mean, look, as good of a play as it was by Rashard, it could have all went for nothing, you know. And he, you know, there was multiple plays in the game that saved the game, you know, and that was one of them. And that was the first one, really. But what a play by him, what an effort by him, you know. And I think that, you know, that really talks about the culture that Coach Cristobal creates with effort, you know, because ultimately that's all that matters. And I've seen receivers not do that a lot because a guy breaks out in front. They've already done their job basically, so they kind of just coast, you know. And so good things happen when you strain.
How about Colby? I mean, you mentioned the window catch, but also he made some nice contested catches for him.
Well, he made, you know, the touchdown catch was awesome. That corner is one of the best corners in America. It was a good matchup. The 3rd and 8 catch he made to keep the drive going. You know, I mean, he did multiple other things through the course of the game too, blocking wise and all the rest. But those two stick out, and the 3rd down one was just, we had to have it. You know, we had to keep the drive going. We had to make a play. We knew the coverage there was going to play. We knew the window was going to be small. We knew the timing would had to be perfect, and those two were right on point. You know, if there was second off on that, we're punting or going for it on 4th down probably. You know.
How about your backs? Played against a good front and
Yeah.
grinded up.
I mean, just 5, 6, 7, you know, yards a carry, right? I mean, and a couple, honestly, we had a handful of other times where if they don't shoestring tackle us, we're out for 40 or 50, you know? I mean, that was really, really close on multiple different occasions with AJ and Don that, I mean, they just got tripped up. And if they don't, you know, they're out, you know? And I thought AJ came in and, like, at the end, you know, those runs at the end were crucial. You know, the touchdown run, the 2-point run. I mean, he got some tough yards down there. It was good to see.
I'm going to say it now. Miami running backs going to eat on Florida State. So Florida State can't stop the run. Duke ran for 200 yards on them. Duke ran for 200 yards on them. Miami Hurricanes running back is going to eat up there in Tallahassee. I'm telling y'all now.
Mario mentioned this, and there's a video going around of like Tyler running up to celebrate with Emery. Obviously, quarterbacks are different kind of positions. Only one person can really play at a time. So, how common is it to see quarterbacks supporting each other like that when there's still not so much competition? Is that something that you see frequently, or is that kind of a little unique for them?
It's probably a little more frequent than you think. You know, quarterbacks, they cheer for each other. You know, they know how the position is. And so, and I do stress the point that whoever's playing, everybody's supporting. And we're helping. You know, it's all hands on deck when it comes to support because there's a million things going through your mind, especially when it's your first start, right? So Tyler, whenever ultimately at the end we knew he wasn't going to play, that was my only message to him was, look, man, you have to be an unbelievable, like, support system when Emery comes off the field. Good, bad, or indifferent, like, sit down with him. And he did. He did a great job all night. And so, and that video at the end was obviously, you know, what everybody saw, but he did the whole game too.
Anything else for Coach Austin?
How about just Virginia? What they show you on tape?
You know, I mean, defensively, structure-wise, extremely sound. I mean, well coached. You know, they're riding the momentum of a two-game win streak, and they do a really good job of just keeping everything in front of them. You know, they're structured very well. They're structured against the run very well. They're always going to have the extra guy added in the right place. So it's one of those defenses where, you know, they probably want you to make the mistake, right? And so they have some pressure packages they bring, but ultimately they like to keep that umbrella over the top, you know? And so we have to do a very good job of maintaining possession, which I thought in the game, you know, the second half we possessed the ball, which was crucial because I thought defense was playing a lot of plays, thought they were tired, and so we needed to have some long drives, and we did. We put together a couple long drives that really, you know, I thought gave the defense a little bit of a break because they were playing so well and they were playing a lot of snaps, and so, and we have to do the same thing. We got to possess the ball, you know, whatever it takes. If it's 8-play drives, it's 8-play drives. If it's 2-play drives, it's 2-play drives. But we need to possess the ball and take care of the ball, and so it's the two things we stressed going into the game. And we protected the ball for the most part. You know, we had one pick, but ultimately that wasn't Emery's fault. You know, we can't abort on a post route that deep down the field, and he knows that. And so, and it ended up being like a punt. You know, I mean, you hate to say that, but I mean, you know, every turnover isn't the same. And that was indicative there that, like, yeah, we don't want to turn the ball over, but at least they got to go 95 yards, you know.
One of those drives, I think, was 15 plays, shoot up 9 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was not in the air raid manual that you got at the beginning of your coaching career.
No, and that's part of the reason why the evolution happens, because, whenever you do have to grind out a game like that, it was always tough back then, protection is hard, throwing through those windows are hard. And so it's nice to be able to add some surfaces with tight ends and grind it out whenever you need it, right? And our 5 guys up front, I say 5 guys, but it's really more than that, because Cam and all the tight ends are part of that group too. And I just thought they were playing at a high level, so leaning on those guys with the freshman quarterback was something I didn't mind doing.
Coach, how much does it help that you don't ever want to go into an overtime game, but that you went through it and came out in good shape? How much does that help in the future? Does it?
I don't know. I mean, I think coming out on top helps because it gives confidence, but I'd rather not go into overtime games. I was glad when Flag made that stop because I didn't want to call another 2-point play. So that was all I was thinking about is I didn't want to call another 2-point play.
Ryan, appreciate the support, boss. Thank you for the $10 Cash App. Appreciate that. If anybody want to donate to the show and everything like that, the Cash App is on the bottom of the screen. Appreciate it. Also, you can hit the super chat. Appreciate that, boss.
The process was good. The whole process of it, you practice it obviously a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, we thought, because we got the ball back with like a minute and something, and you're right in that area where you want to be aggressive, but if you do something stupid, you give them a short field, And I mean, me, I probably, Coach Cristobal made a great point in that situation that, we don't want to do anything stupid, and also, like, we're the more physical team right now. So whenever you go into overtime, you play on a short field. So typically when you play on those short fields, the more physical team wins or has the edge, right? And so we felt like we could go spot the ball at the 25-yard line and push it down there. So it was the right decision, no doubt. And so, but the 2 minute, the two, overtime drives were good. I mean, we got stopped on the first one on a short yardage. And then the second one, the screen to Brashard helped at the beginning because it got us 14 or 15 yards down there.
Anything else?
Y'all heard my coaches, man. Dominant win. Great win. Great win at home against an ACC opponent. One that's been dominating the ACC for a long time. Woo! Great win, Mario. Great win. They can't talk trash about you this week, Mario. They're going to find something to hate on, but they can't hate on this win. They can't hate on this win this week. Not this week. Anyways, I'm going to put the link in the chat. I want y'all opinions, man. Obviously, we got Virginia next. You guys could tell me what you think of them. Like they said, 2 games so far, back-to-back wins for them. Took off, knock off number 10 team, North Carolina. So, obviously, Virginia, got it together in that game. They were losing, came back, fought, and got a win. Miami versus Virginia at home this week. Y'all, let me put the link in the chat. Y'all can come on in and tell me what you think. Now, Florida State fans, I know y'all in here. Y'all could join too, but the topic is Miami and Miami and Miami. I don't want to hear nothing about your little stinking team up there in Tallahassee. We could save that for Seminole Wednesday, but it's Miami Monday. We're talking about the mighty Hurricanes, not the little peon Seminoles. Link is in the chat for anybody that wants to come on in and, say what they saw and all that good stuff. I also got some more stuff for you guys tonight. All right, what's going on, my guy?
What's up, my guy?
What you think of that great win over Clemson, my guy?
That was a good win for y'all. I liked it. I didn't want it to happen, but hey, it happened.
I mean, It is what it is. Y'all told us we weren't gonna beat Clemson, and then we beat them better than y'all did.
Didn't y'all went to 2 overtimes, baby boy? We ain't have to
We
do
beat
all
them
that.
better than y'all did. We ain't had to worry about them missing a field goal on us.
Hey, listen, that's tough. That's tough.
Ryan, what's going on, my guy?
What's up, brothers? Y'all doing all right?
Yes, sir, man. What's your thoughts,
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, Florida State, I don't think they're going to be able to handle the receivers. They secondary trash to me. I'm just telling you straight up.
Boy, stop. Oh, boy. He came on with straight bullshit.
Hey, I'm coming from a player standpoint.
Talk to me.
Hey, bro, my first cousin at Florida State, Corey Fuller, he the director of player personnel. I talked to him on a personal basis. He gonna tell me straight up. Them boys really soft, dog. I'm telling you straight up, they soft.
You ain't seen nothing soft on the field. I ain't seen nothing soft.
Bro, and honestly, I'm still trying to figure out how y'all dodging Louisville and North Carolina in the same season.
We played them. We played them both last year.
Oh,
and the
you
year
got to play them every year.
Man, hell no, y'all don't.
What you mean you played them last year?
I mean, we played them. I think we played them the
Bro,
past 3
I'm gonna
years.
tell you. I'm gonna tell you straight up. This is how I go. And Randy up there, my old coach, bro. Coaches make the schedule. Norvell been running from that heat since he been there. That whole bullshit he pulled during COVID, man. I feel Dabo Swinney. They should sue Florida State. They were here in Tallahassee at the hotel. Went to the stadium. Trevor Lawrence warming up. Norvell pulled that bullshit with we don't want to play. Bro, I still don't know how they did that. I still can comprehend that.
COVID.
I told y'all what happened, man.
Man, the boys got tested 15 times.
Hey, you don't know that. COVID.
Man, come on, man.
I told
Florida
y'all.
State been pulling that bull for 3-4 years.
Norvell stood in that window. He saw them big ass boys come off the bus. He said, "Nope, not today."
Hey, but this
That's all right.
No tell us really, honestly though.
That's all right. We spent back on their ass this year and gave it to them.
Why is Mario Cristobal? I was his first recruit coming out of. He came to Tallahassee and got me when Larry Coker made him recruiting coordinator and tight ends coach. But I'm just trying to figure out why is everybody so hard on Mario in his second year? And I get it. He had you, but the same grace that y'all give Memphis Mike over there, well, y'all got to get the same to Mike Cristobal now, because in his second year, do we remember what Florida State was in their second year? We are light years ahead of Florida State. But nobody wants to know that.
Apples and oranges.
I mean, we had I think we had like 3 losing seasons before that too, though.
Yeah. And Miami has not.
That y'all ass right now, though.
Yeah, but when you say losing seasons, when he took over for Willie, I mean Florida State was non-existent.
And that was on Willie. That wasn't on him.
But in his second year, when you lost to Sanford, all I'm saying is everything takes time, bro. It takes time.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I get.
I gotta see. I consider myself president of the Hurricane Club in Tallahassee. I'm born and raised here. Went to play for Miami. Blah blah blah. Yada yada. I get into it with everybody and anybody. But when it all boils down to it, everybody knows I speak facts. So my thing is this: if you're gonna hold somebody accountable for the 2 years or whatever, how long they've been here, I get it. Mike Norvell has done a wonderful job based on what he's had to endure during COVID, and I'll give him credit for that. But I can say, hey, y'all got to ease up on Mario down there, because guess what? If the man only been there a year and a half, and to do what he did with a recruiting class in 3 months,
don't let them fool you. They scared of Mario.
Yeah, me personally, I don't got no problem with him. I mean, I know he just got there, but we definitely not scared of him though.
Well, yeah, nobody can be. If any FSU fans say, like this, everybody knows this rivalry game right here. It don't matter who ranked. It don't matter. I done sat in Dope Camel, the Orange Bowl, plenty of games as a fan and a player, and watch and witness. Hey man, they gonna win the national championship. How many times has FSU not made it to a national championship because of Miami, and vice versa? It goes both ways.
It goes both ways for sure. T2, I won't say that though.
I won't say. I told y'all plenty of times. Miami ruined y'all like from 8 championships.
Oh yeah. No, we definitely have ruined them more times than they ruined us now.
That's a fact. It is what it is. This year,
You know, the wide rights, I get all that, but it's been, people. A lot of people fail to realize Miami's actually gone 11 national championships. We won 5, but we've gone 11 of them.
hey,
Hey, you know what?
get a ACC ring, man. Let me get one of those from y'all.
I hear y'all, man. I hear y'all. Hey, you know what? And people forget about that team that, because I was on that team, but actually made it to the ACC championship. But we had to give it to Duke. Self-imposed and all that.
Yeah.
I think that was Georgia Tech we gave it to.
Yeah, somebody, man. We had to cut it back because we had to do our little self-imposed.
I just want to show Florida State a glimpse of what we're gonna do to them. Just a little bit.
In the middle of the night, he's going to see
Get your ass out my way,
an
Bill.
orange jersey.
Listen, that's almost like Reggie White.
Y'all better get ready for Bane. Y'all better get ready.
Man, the future's bright, man. I love it, brother. This is my best time of the year, man. This is my best time of the year.
I mean, he do look serious. Don't get me wrong. I ain't even gonna sit here and say he ain't all that. He definitely do look promising, but
Bro, y'all got
I
to
think
worry
we'll
about
be all
Virginia
right.
first.
We got to take
Come
it
on
one
now.
at a time now. You right, brother. We got to take care of Virginia.
I like him to do that against Virginia though. Real shit though. They suck. They weak, bro. They
One more
weak in my
time.
opinion.
Back. Y'all better put some respect on Bane.
In the middle of the night, he's going to see 44 in an orange jersey.
Listen, that's almost like Reggie.
Man, he threw that man to the other side of the field.
Messidor gonna be back for Florida State game. That's gonna be great for us.
Shit, man, we're gonna have threats on both sides. Shoot, not to mention Leonard Taylor don't came alive.
Oh man, quietly but subtle, but he out there, bro. Hey fellas, man, I'm finna get my little girls in the house, man. Y'all be blessed, man. Y'all stay up and I get with y'all later.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You have, sir.
True, bro.
Yeah, no, I like him T2. I don't know if he gonna be able to do that all game. I mean, we gonna adjust.
He ain't got to do it all game. Just when we need him to. Just when we need him to. Especially on them key third down. I'm telling y'all keep overlooking us. Watch.
They Trav come alive on third though. Don't do that.
Thomas, what's going on, boss?
Oh, not much, bro.
Man, Thomas, who?
I'm just chilling. Nah, bro. I don't know, but I got ties to all 3 places. But I talk more shit than a little bit.
All right. Well, you in the right place because we talk about all 3 anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody in the state of Florida got family that's tied some kind of way to all the universities.
Yeah,
So, me personally, my mama went to Florida State. My auntie went to fucking Florida. Went to both graduations when I was legit. It's like, damn, brainwashed.
Yeah.
Gotta watch
Speaking
both.
of brainwash, Armando Blunt brainwashed into flipping to go to Florida State.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm on here to talk to you about that, boy. You like that?
Man.
How you feel about that, T2? Let me know.
I ain't got no worries. We doing great over here. The pieces are falling in place over here. We got some special things brewing up.
I like it.
I think we got.
I like it.
I think we got a top cornerback they're gonna commit to us over a couple rivals. So it is what it is.
Who that?
These prospects finicky till February though.
Yeah, but nothing ain't certain until National Signing Day. I think I think Mincy is in the bags for Miami, but we'll see how it goes. Things could change. Recruiting happen every day.
Yeah.
I'm glad y'all beat Clemson because y'all keeping Dabo away from the recruits in Florida. That's just like an extra little chip away.
Yeah, I'm ready
Because
for
that
him
man
to go
damn sure was bagging them back in the day.
I'm ready for him going on by their business. It should be over with for him. Almost, if it ain't.
Man, everybody in the state of Florida doing great in recruiting right now. Shoot.
Yeah, Florida got a nice little class over there.
I think for the first time in a long time, all 3 teams are going to finish in the top 10 in recruiting.
Yeah.
But we all know where they're going to get developed at. Go ask Ruben Bain.
Man, go ask Josh
Go ask
Farmer.
Ruben Bain. That whole Florida State class is going to transfer next year.
Stop.
Norvell getting the sign, and then he looks into that transfer portal and say, "Ooh, this guy can play the same position. This guy's coming in to play. That guy can come in to play."
I ain't
And
know.
these guys,
Hey, this shit turn a real NFL like though. For real. Like if you know what you do, I think man, next year is gonna be interesting. Now that everybody about to be put on game.
Yeah, I honestly say our DB is good. I like everything about us right now.
yeah, man, I can't
So
blame you. Y'all look decent.
so recruiting, I mean, I just don't see why nobody would want to leave. Like,
It's gonna be some selfish reasons. Some people, hey,
I mean, some people left last year too though. Like fuck, what's his name, bro? I forgot, buddy. Number 0? Was it number 0 last year? I can't remember what his
4,
name. I think his last name was Pittman.
yeah,
4?
4,
That's
yeah,
who it was.
yeah,
See, Keon Coleman been balling this season, bro. I forgot all about the
exactly,
man name and everything.
yeah, Pittman left.
exactly.
They had a few players, five players went over to Colorado. They had
We'll see how that went.
they top
You
running
see how
back.
that's going though.
They top running back went to Kansas, I think. Kansas State.
Yeah, that would. I forgot who I was talking to. Everybody to talk with you, boy.
Ward, man, Trayshawn Ward. Y'all could definitely.
He was nice though.
Y'all could definitely use him right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Trey Benson is a straight princess.
But I cannot like not give Tor Philly no credit. He looking nice. I mean, I ain't really tripping by it. Trey not being the best right now, cause
I don't like the play calls for Trey.
yeah, it be so obvious. It don't be right. My boy be getting it done
They
though.
really doing that running back by committee thing. Like they changed up the scheme from last season.
Miami
That's
know
for sure.
about that. That how Miami coming right now.
Yeah, all our running backs. Whoever got the hot hands, you see, they letting them play. Man, shout out to Don Chaney, man. I'm trying to tell y'all that boy gonna be decent.
Yeah, he look pretty decent.
So we
I like Kobe Young, bro. I just wish y'all would feed him like y'all feed Restrepo. Like fuck. I really like that shit. Be frustrating me just seeing that shit. It's like, bro, come on.
Now I'm gonna say this.
Feel that way.
Tyler Van Dyke gonna be back this week.
That's the only person that don't.
I hope the way that Emery was distributing the ball, I hope Tyler come here and distribute it like that. Now, nothing against Restrepo, but my guy distributed the ball to everybody, and Restrepo still had 7 catches.
And that's all he got to do.
Emery came in, and the tight ends got more played than they did in all season, to be honest with you.
And that's because TVD be locked in, man. He know what he going when he snap it, man.
So
he snap it.
It's going to be real interesting this week, man. So obviously, Virginia coming in this thing, they 2-5, won their last 2 games, beat North Carolina. Miami's coming in this thing off, a win against Clemson, bouncing back, must win at home, got it done, got that off our back. It's time to move on to the next one. So Virginia coming in, on paper, we got them on everything on paper. This is a 5-loss team. We got them on everything. Plain and simple. Ain't much to go through with the stats. Rushing the ball and everything like that. We giving up less than 80 yards, a carry, a game. Obviously, the North Carolina game, defense got tired. We couldn't do nothing on offense, so eventually we wore out, and they put up like 230 on us, I think. But we lights out on that run defense.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't even be close.
It's a home game for Miami. Now, Miami's a 18-point favorite, 18.5-point favorite.
I don't like the spread.
Over and under is 47.5. I'm not doing the whole spread thing. I'm gonna take Miami to win. That's it. The whole spread thing, we don't do too well with covering. I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean that's a big spread too, though.
Yeah, 18.5. That's a lot.
Considering what Virginia just did too, It's like they do got a little fight in them, so it's like you gotta beat that shit out of them.
See, I feel
I
like
think it'll be a
Vegas
decent
know.
first half.
Vegas know them boys sorry as shit though. They know they weren't supposed to beat North Carolina.
And shout out to the Seminole fan. Shout out to DJ Fur for the $5 donation earlier. Appreciate that, boss. Forgot to mention that. Thank you for the support. But shoot, I feel like I ain't got no words. I'm telling y'all, I feel the same way I felt when we played Clemson. The live before, I'll tell y'all, I don't fear them. I don't fear them. I don't fear Virginia. I think our defense, like I said, is way better than North Carolina's was. We just got tired because the offense couldn't produce. We kept turning the ball over. The last 2 games that we lost, turnover killed us. 3 and outs killed us.
Yeah, no, y'all should come out with a purpose this week. Y'all should want to look good.
It all depends on the offense.
I'm telling you.
That's it. That defense gonna show up. I like the defense to show up. It's just what type of offense we about to see.
I just love that this team got some fight in them this year. So ESPN matchup predicted Miami's a 91.5% win. They only giving Virginia an 8.5% chance of winning this. And I'm pretty sure game day is not going to, all of them not going to, pick Virginia to beat Miami like they did with Clemson. Shout out to CJ Stroud. He the only one on that whole panel that picked Miami to win that game. Shout out to that guy, even though he'll
I'm waiting for them to play Michigan. Can't wait for that.
Nah, I've been airing out my frustrations with these refs all week.
Oh, they so bad.
I want to share this one too. Now I want y'all to check this out.
Football. Here's Williams. He'll look left.
Now, as you guys can see, pass to the end zone, cornerback.
Tee up Horton against Nick Wiggins and incomplete.
Look, play is over. Push it. Rubbing. Got up in his face. Oh, they're gonna ref right there. They're gonna ref right there.
Outside.
Taunting. Where's the taunting? Where's the unsportsmanlike conduct? It's not like no ref ain't there to see. He's right there to see it. This big old zebra right there. He's watching it. Ain't saying nothing. This man taunted for damn near the whole play. Pushed him out of the end zone. Got out of the end zone and got way down here to like the 8-yard line. Taunting. No call. That would have been James Williams.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh yeah, bro. They would have called.
They missed a lot of stuff in the Florida State game too. I mean, a lot of holding, whole bunch of holding.
If that was James Williams, that's a personal foul. That's unsportsmanlike conduct.
The ACC just
terrible.
Shit trash.
Terrible.
Man.
Basuda, garbage, all of that.
All of that.
Yes, sir.
I can't. I don't know. I get tired of watching that.
We don't get no safeties when there's a safety.
That
ain't even the only one. I want y'all.
That was so.
I got another one for y'all right in front of the rim.
That was the worst.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's one worse than that one. The safety was the worst one I've seen all year.
Now I want y'all to watch this too. Now play is over. Now watch this. Watch this Clemson guy. Push head down. Right now it ain't like the refs ain't there. There he is right there. He watching.
Come on, brother. Hey, the way he picked his head up too. He's like, come on, bro.
He watched it too.
Look at him. He's right there.
He say, "Ref."
Hey, you forsaking him, bro.
Peanut head right there.
Yeah, that's bad, man.
Wow.
They wilding, bro. They wilding.
I damn sure would have been calling for that one. I need that.
They don't want to see us back. They don't want it.
Nah, that shit ain't that. It ain't there yet.
No, I ain't gonna lie. It ain't Miami acting soft. That ain't Miami acting soft at all. It's just the fact that if niggas gonna get a soft call, let my team get the soft call too, bro. Come on now. Like don't hold me.
I need mine.
When Corey Flag even barely stood up and they gave him the flag for it.
Yeah.
They called it on quarter flag. He barely stood up and just flexed a little bit, and they called on him.
Yeah, them people there.
Man, they got something on the parlays,
I was
man.
gonna say them people be betting their ass off, man. That's all.
They got something on the motherfucking parlays.
Them people be
goddamn.
betting their
Listen,
ass
I'm
off.
starting to think the numbers on the first half of the game, everybody probably had Miami up. Vegas was like, nah, no, too much money going out.
Yeah,
There ain't no
Vegas
safety.
winning.
That's not a safety.
Vegas winning. They were trying to get something. That was bad, dog.
That's what's going on. That's what it is, man. Everybody got their bets. Miami ain't it, so hey, we can't let them have the money. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. Mario got us, man. The way we recruiting and everything like that. The way we recruiting and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, he look like he's doing a decent job. He ain't ready for Florida State.
Nah, speaking of Florida State, I'm kind of mad at Rhett Lashley a little bit for doing this, but he picked up one of these.
No,
He picked up.
you stole it. Oh my God.
No, sir, you can't get a job. We don't want to.
My boy don't really target it, man. My boy don't really target it. I give to Florida State. Y'all might not be the first to do this, but it's signature now.
Yeah.
But my boy literally had them breaking the rock. Like, come on, man.
That boy said, I like that. We're gonna try that.
We like that shit.
I like that. We're gonna try that.
You got
Hey, just like when the U had that chain, bro. It's like the moment I started seeing other teams do it, I'm like, bro, come on.
Well, we had that
It was
damn
only cool when they
backpack.
did
I'm
it.
gonna say this because SMU next season, if y'all don't know, they are an ACC team. SMU is an ACC team next year.
Yeah.
And if Florida State is on their schedule, I think they're gonna break the rock.
Then who gonna break the rock?
Listen, if SMU beat Florida State and they break that rock, they're gonna be epic.
Man.
That's gonna be epic.
They gonna break that big across their head.
They're gonna be like, y'all started this, but we did it better.
Man.
Get hit. I ain't gonna lie, bro. If we lost to them though, we deserve to get trolled like that though, and I laugh at it. I find humor in that shit. It's like that's comical. But we shouldn't be losing no damn SMU.
I ain't gonna lie
That's
to you,
crazy.
I was having a little fun on Twitter when LJ McCray committed to Florida because Florida State fans literally thought they had him.
Oh my God, that shit.
Well, bro, but they all do that though. All the big three recruits, they stay doing that shit.
Man, I
posted
this.
24/7 shit. That 247 shit is bad. Them boys.
I posted this up there. That's your boy. Hey, shout out to my guy TJ, man.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I was like, bro, they got a CJ Wilson, they got a TJ, but no LJ. Them boys was ready for that commitment, boy. That's tough right there.
I mean, I wanted it, but it wasn't nothing to get mad about.
Man,
especially with the blunt news.
We knew that guy was going to Florida a month ago. So when y'all started hyping it up, I'm like, what is it that they know that we don't know?
Man,
they got him. They got him.
I was like, man, that's crazy.
Then everybody swear that the man gonna transfer. I mean, Florida ain't that bad now. They trash as fuck, but
that name brand, huh?
Exactly.
That boy
committed. Said that was his dream school.
I mean, that's why we follow the teams despite the records, though. Like, you can't say you a real fan and you can't take a L.
Exactly.
Boy, look here. Each team that had they span of time where it's like, you gotta take it, man. You gotta
we coming up out of that bit right now.
I tell people all the time, I troll all day, so I gotta be able to take it. It ain't always gonna go my way.
Shit, Miami got 5, and everybody's still catching up at the end of the day. So I mean, it's still been the last 20 years, and we still catching up. So I mean, you can troll all you want to.
I'm telling you, I be trolling online. I even tagged CJ Wilson. I even tagged him. Then you know they be talking about Gabby, 80% Gabby, because he always get the recruitment crystal balls wrong. I was like,
They be on his ass.
Bro, y'all can't tell me Jameis
where's
Winston ain't
40%
funny, bro.
CJ?
But they be on Gabby so
It's like
bad.
every time CJ promised y'all a recruit, y'all never get him. Well, we're like, oh, we got something special this week. Going somewhere else.
That shit be funny as shit. Oh, I don't pay that shit. I don't get too invested into it. I like it, but it
Nah,
ain't
you,
gonna
you
run.
can't get invested into it, boy. Look here.
This was funny because this was before the commitment.
He going to Florida State. That's my little cousin.
Oh shit!
Who going to Florida State?
Going to Florida State. That's my little cousin.
I heard he was going to Florida. I heard he was going to Georgia.
They doing draft shit.
Now, if you don't go to Florida State, is he still your cousin?
Nah, my little cousin. He going to Florida State.
Y'all heard it here first. Now, my boy said he's going to Florida State. That's his cousin.
You got the same last name and everything.
Yeah.
That boy said we got the same last name and everything.
I'm a little cousin. That's fucked up.
Same last name and everything. He told you he going to Florida State.
Everybody know he going to Florida State.
Oh Lord, everybody know he's going to Florida.
He tell you he's going to Florida State.
Yeah, out his mouth. Out his mouth, he going to Florida State.
Oh man.
Say that again.
Out his mouth, he's going to Florida State.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you heard it here first. What part of that live this is? 139. That's exactly why I remember what it was, because I already knew at the end of that live this shit was gonna be hilarious.
Bruh, he either lied or his cousin really don't fuck with him like that.
That man, that's some fuck shit.
Bruh.
I'd be mad as a
The way he said it, the way he said it, it's like all the emotion was just out of it. It's just like, I believe that shit though. Like,
yeah, like
he told me, bro. Everybody know, the whole fam, my grandma.
Oh no, Mr. Overdose, I got you, Mr. Overdose.
The cap. Stop the cap right now! Stop the cap!
Yeah, my boy was straight capping.
That dope alone.
You haven't.
He need to leave that dope alone.
My boy, man. I'm waiting for him to pop up in the chat. He got some explaining to do. I'm waiting. Man, this is just another week, man. We got a lesser opponent. Hopefully, Miami don't play down to him. Lesser opponent. I mean, same goes for Florida State too. Now they got a lesser opponent in West Virginia, Wake Forest. But Wake Forest had their number for the past couple of years. They should get over that hump this year, but hey, man, any given Saturday, anything could happen.
Yeah. And we owe them a fade. We damn sure owe them a fade.
Obviously,
but
Florida got the biggest matchup of their life. They play Georgia.
Yes, bruh. Oh my God. I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna do it.
I think game day probably gonna be at that game. I know Josh Pate from Late Kick, he gonna be there. That's the game that he's going to. So it's gonna be all eyes on Florida. Florida 5-2 right now. They're a lot better than a lot of us expected. So it's gonna be on and popping.
I'm interested to see how that game goes without Bowers.
Yeah, man, that game is gonna be on and popping.
But like you said at the beginning, it's about the you today. Think that personally, I think after the win they had against Clemson, and the fact that they got over that same hump that Florida State had got over with breaking that streak that Clemson had over them, and the fact that they played with the backup quarterback, I think that does something. I don't think I could be wrong, but I think it does something going into that game against Virginia, and they understand that it's like, nah, bro, everybody's gonna give it their best. So we got to play this game like we taking everything serious. I think that I think they get the job done against them. I think they get the job done against NC State, and I think that game against Florida State, it gets magnified from there. But 1 week at a time, I think that Clemson game did something good for the morale of the team.
Yeah, honestly, we lose that Clemson game, you might as well just say the season is done. Pack it up. All we doing is playing for one of them bowl games that really ain't really nothing. But
Yeah,
right now,
some people say otherwise. That whether Miami won or lost, it's still a success. Like I could see that point, but like you said, like the win, it's either gonna do one thing or another.
listen, man. After that Clemson win, this is what's going on in Miami right now. Everybody done got them a big old glass. Everybody. Shoot, I'm not even worried about Virginia right now. See, that's why I always tell them, hey, I hope the team don't take on my mentality because I'm just a fan. I hope they take every opponent seriously. Everyone. Whether it's Duke, whether it's Bethune-Cookman, any one of them. Take them all serious. Don't be a fan like me and just overlook them because they trash.
Yeah, you can't afford to do that in October and November. I mean, but you're getting full scholarships and NIL deals. You there for a reason. You better play that whole season. Play every game like it's the first one.
Y'all do me a favor in the chat. First off, make sure y'all hit the like button. Second, drop y'all score prediction. Miami versus Virginia this week. What y'all think the score is gonna be? That's a 3:30 game too on ACC Network. That's gonna be at 3:30. So we're gonna have a 3:30 game, early game. I'm gonna be down there for this one. Hopefully, StubHub don't steal my ticket like they did last 2 times. Hopefully, Ticketmaster. I don't think I'm gonna ever use Ticketmaster again. But y'all put them score predictions in the chat. Miami versus Virginia. Virginia comes to Miami, 3:30 game. We all taking. Tyler Van Dyke is playing. As of right now, Mario said he's playing. Y'all heard it in the beginning of the show. All right, so the scores are coming in. He says Miami 31. Miami 31, Virginia 24. So that's a 7-point win. No spread being covered. We got a Miami 35, Virginia 20. That's a 15-point win. No spread being covered. 34-14. That's a 20-point win. Spread covered.
What does Virginia average? Like what do they average on the season in scoring?
It's right here in front of us. Let's see. Total yardage. Well, they ain't got the scoring, but they got the yardage and everything. So yardage wise, they're totaling 361. We totaling 481. They totaling passing yards like 243, 117 on running. So obviously we killing them in every.
Yeah, y'all gonna do what you want on offense.
And passing yards giving up, we giving up 234. They're giving up 23. And we only giving up less than 80. They're giving up 172. So on paper wise, Miami is the better team. I mean, talent wise too. But like I said, don't sleep on these teams. Don't sleep on these teams.
The way they are playing, the whole conference is cannibalizing itself. So
Now
they score.
they're on a 2-game win streak now, but North Carolina is the best, obviously. You know,
They
they're
can,
the 10th ranked team, but the team before that they win was William and Mary.
William, they only scored 27 points on William and Mary.
Yes.
Oh, I like them to only score no more than 10 points. 10 points at maximum against
I
Miami.
ain't gonna do that because I did that against Georgia Tech too. Now Georgia Tech lost the week before to Bowling Green,
I'll give them a tug. 17. I'll give them 17 points at max.
and then boom, we went in there. You know, did what we did. So obviously, I'm taking Miami to win. I think Miami going. I think this is going to be a good offensive week for us. I'm gonna say about 35, 38 around that area points for Miami. I'm gonna give Virginia around 24. I'm gonna give them about 24 points, and that's just me being honest.
Garbage time, fourth quarter. I could see them getting the yeah, because I believe the defense is gonna hold them. I feel like the defense is gonna hold them for a good portion of the game until
Honestly, I got a feeling this game is gonna have a Texas A&M kind of feel. Even though Virginia ain't quite there, I feel like that's where it's headed though, like a Texas A&M kind of win.
I don't think Virginia want them problems. Yeah, I don't think now. I'm thinking about it. Virginia might try to do ball control.
Let's see,
That might be their game.
They're running back 55 carries for 302 with 2 touchdowns. That's Paris Jones. Their best receiver, 56 catches for 783 yards, 6 touchdowns. So obviously throwing it to him, Malik Washington, that's going to be the guy that watch out for. The quarterback, 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's only 63 for 100 yards, less than 1,000 yards on the year. So I think our O line is going to be good. I think our D line going to dominate. So I think we should be good. Honestly, I'm going to expect Tyler to be targeting Restrepo. I don't think that's something that's just going to change overnight.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that's changing.
As long as he don't throw interceptions and we don't, create turnovers, I think we'll be good. I think we'll get the win. I'm not gonna say we cover that spread though. 18.5. But anyways, man, I'm gonna put the link in the chat again for you guys. Got about, I'm gonna say we almost going on 2 hours. Got like 8 more minutes. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Anybody want to come in and say their last piece? And then obviously Wednesday we'll do Seminole Wednesday, so we could talk about the Wake Forest and the Florida State game. Florida State fans, y'all come on in here and tell me how great your wins are. You're 7-0, and you're gonna be the champions this year and all that good stuff. So the link is in the chat. Any Miami Hurricane fans, Florida State fans, y'all want to say y'all piece before we shut this thing down? Click the link. So obviously, who you think gonna score the first touchdown for Miami this week?
And I feel like it's gonna be one of those running backs. I feel like they're about to set the tone. Right about to set the tone. They may just end up. They could end up passing that bit, but I feel like one of those running backs is going to end up punching it in. I'm not sure which one it's going to be.
I think I'm gonna go with the obvious. I'm gonna say Restrepo. I'm gonna say Restrepo. I think Restrepo gonna get that first one. I think TVD gonna pick up right where he left off.
Get his groove back, kind of thing. I could see that.
Yeah, like I said, you don't just break habits overnight. Restrepo gonna get some more targets. His number's gonna be up this game.
Yeah, that man about to have like at least 7 receptions.
Yeah, man. But shout out to Restrepo anyway. Hey, if he weren't catching them, I'd have a problem. But he catching them. Yeah, pretty much. I think we covered everything. Great win over Clemson. Defense dominated. Dabo was crying. Club Nick didn't bring the win home like he promised. Ruben Bain, great night. Leonard Taylor, great night. Cam Kitchen almost had 2 interceptions. Had 1, but he almost had 2. 1 slipped away from him. Yeah, linebackers played decent. What else? What else we seen in that game? We just pushed Clemson around. I think that game, the Florida State game and the Duke game, if that didn't give Dabo a wake-up call, I don't know what did. See, right now, Clemson can only finish 9-3 in the regular season and hope to get that 10 win in the bowl game if they don't lose another game this season.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I think that I can't say that because it's like Mizzou didn't respect South Carolina. But I'm looking at that South Carolina Clemson game like, if South Carolina keep getting beat up on, they might end up,
Imploding.
looking at that like it's their Super Bowl. Ended all. Now that would have that man on the hot seat, I'm sure.
I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Florida State though. Shout out to Miami and Florida State. Both knocking off Clemson, taking them off that pedestal this season. So, hey, somebody else got to step up and beat them, man. Make sure they don't get that 10 win. Kill that streak.
Please.
With all that being said, I don't see nobody hit the link. I'm going to shut this thing down. I appreciate everybody for coming through, hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel, coming on the channel. Shout out to Ryan Hill. Former player came on earlier. He was talking. So if you guys missed that, with all that being said, I'll catch you guys on Wednesday night for Seminole Wednesday. Seminole fans, that's y'all show. Everything will be focused on Florida State. So y'all come through, bring a friend, bring other Florida State fans. Y'all come in, talk about your team, good, bad, ugly, all of that. Good night, folks. Oh, one more thing. The funeral service for Clemson has concluded. Good night, folks.